Imagine waking up tomorrow and discovering that the most powerful empire on Earth is gone. No warning, no final battle, no dramatic farewell. Just silence. Yesterday, its armies ruled continents. Its cities overflowed with wealth. Its rulers commanded absolute fear. Today, the streets are empty. The palaces abandoned. The power erased, as if it never existed. Historians still struggle with this mystery, because this empire didn't slowly collapse the way others did. It didn't fade over centuries. It vanished so fast that people living at the time barely understood what had happened. This is the story of an empire that ruled the world and then disappeared almost overnight. At its peak, this empire controlled trade routes that connected civilizations thousands of miles apart. Gold, spices, weapons, and ideas flowed through its cities like blood through veins. Its rulers didn't just dominate land, they controlled economies, politics, and the future of entire regions. Neighboring kingdoms paid tribute simply to survive. Some allied out of fear. Others resisted and were wiped from history. To the people of that era, this empire felt eternal, unstoppable, almost divine. Children grew up believing its power had always existed and always would. The capital city was a symbol of absolute dominance. Massive walls towered over the landscape, visible from miles away. Inside, markets buzzed day and night, temples glowed with firelight, and palaces echoed with the voices of officials deciding the fate of millions. Foreign visitors described it as overwhelming. A place where wealth and authority were so concentrated that it felt unreal. Soldiers marched through streets with unshakable confidence, knowing no force on earth could challenge them. Or so they believed. The empire's strength came from more than just armies. It mastered administration, law, and communication. Orders from the capital could reach distant provinces faster than most rivals could even react. Governors were appointed, taxes collected, rebellions crushed before they could grow. Roads, canals, and infrastructure bound the empire together like steel. It was a machine designed to rule forever, and that is what makes what happened next so terrifying. Without warning, something began to change. At first, it was subtle. A missed shipment, a delayed message, a distant province failing to send tribute on time. Nothing alarming, nothing that suggested disaster. Empires experienced minor disruptions all the time. The rulers dismissed these signs as temporary problems, the kind that could be fixed with a new decree or a show of force. But beneath the surface, something far more dangerous was unfolding. Then the climate shifted. Rains that had come reliably for generations stopped. Rivers shrank, harvests failed. Food shortages spread quietly at first, then violently. Prices rose. People grew desperate. Farmers abandoned their land. Cities that once overflowed with abundance began to feel tension, fear, and hunger. The empire tried to respond, sending grain from storage, enforcing order. But the scale of the crisis was unlike anything they had faced before. At the same time, enemies sensed weakness. Rival powers that had once feared the empire began testing its borders. Small raids turned into coordinated attacks. Provinces far from the capital felt neglected, forgotten. Loyalty weakened. Some local rulers stopped obeying orders entirely, choosing survival over obedience. Communication broke down. The empire that once moved as a single body began to fracture into isolated pieces. And then came the moment historians still struggle to explain. Within a shockingly short period of time, the central authority collapsed. Not gradually, not after decades of decline. Almost instantly. Records stop. Official documents disappear. Administrative systems fall silent. Cities that had been thriving were suddenly abandoned. Palaces were left unfinished. Tools dropped mid-work, as if people fled without time to think. Entire regions that had been firmly under imperial control slipped into chaos. No final emperor gave a speech. No legendary last stand was recorded. There was no single catastrophic battle that marked the end. It was as if the empire's heart simply stopped beating. Archaeologists, centuries later, would find evidence that feels unsettling. burned layers in cities that show sudden destruction, skeletons buried hastily, without ceremony, storehouses emptied or destroyed, luxury goods left behind, untouched, suggesting panic rather than planned evacuation. Something had gone terribly wrong, and it happened fast. One theory suggests environmental collapse, a massive, prolonged drought that shattered the empire's food system and economy all at once. Another theory points to internal rebellion, sparked by hunger and inequality, spreading like wildfire faster than the authorities could react. Some historians believe invading forces took advantage of the chaos, delivering the final blow to a system already on the edge. Others argue it was not one cause, but several disasters striking simultaneously, creating a perfect storm of collapse. What makes this empire unique is not just that it fell, but how completely it disappeared. Unlike Rome, which transformed and lived on in different forms, this empire left almost no immediate successor. Its language faded, its political system vanished, even its name was nearly forgotten. Later civilizations built over its ruins, unaware of the power that once stood beneath their feet. For centuries, it was as if history itself had erased it. When modern scholars finally rediscovered its remains, they were stunned. How could something so powerful, so advanced, simply vanish? How could an empire that dominated the world leave behind so few answers? The more evidence uncovered, the more unsettling the mystery became. Because this story isn't just about the past, it's a warning. This empire believed it was invincible. It believed its systems were too strong to fail, its power too great to challenge, and for a long time, it was right. But complexity became fragility. Control became overreach. When pressure came from multiple directions at once, the entire structure collapsed faster than anyone could imagine. One day, the world revolved around this empire. The next, it was gone. No matter how advanced a civilization becomes, no matter how dominant an empire appears, history shows us the same lesson again and again. Power can vanish faster than it is built. Stability can be an illusion, and sometimes, the greatest collapses don't come with loud explosions or dramatic endings. They come quietly, overnight, leaving behind ruins, questions, and a chilling reminder that even the mightiest empires are only one crisis away from disappearing forever.